What is going on, everyone? We are back with another, I don't want to call this a video rant, but we're going to call it a video rant. So let's head over to our studio, break down a few of my pages, my books, all of the good stuff that has to do with Death Club Comics, myself as an artist, what's in the future, life updates, all of that. But the first thing I want to talk about is content creating. I mean, look at me setting up my light right now. I don't understand why people hate content creation. Now, first, here is a binder where, I hold all of my original art from issues 3 and 4. I just got another binder for issue number 5. We'll be starting issue number 5 soon. However, I want to discuss a lot of things when it comes to content creation on why artists hate it. Like, I love it. Like, look at this top-down shot. Look at my space, my studio space, my desk. This is pretty much where I work out of, and I just want to know what it is that people hate. I know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I understand that, but I believe it's very rewarding at the end of the day. I get to showcase my art to the world, So let's go over a few pages. My name is Sam, the artist, writer, and creator of Bloodshadow. This is my original comic book series. I'm gonna break down issues 1 through 4 very briefly. I'm not giving an elevator pitch or anything like that. Issue number 4, I've sold well over 3,000 copies of on the TikTok shop, and we're trying to sell more. And because I've sold that many, that does not mean I am an expert or anything. Issue number 1, I loved it, but there was a ton that we needed to work on. I mean, look at this. This is insane. I mean, we did everything on the iPad, did everything digital. I tried to go for that noir look, but with color. Huge fan of Frank Miller and Mike Mignola from Hellboy, but I knew we could do better. And that's why with issue number 2, we decided to do a lot more research. And because I've sold so many, copies, I wanted to give people a lot more. I mean, I sell my single issues for $12, but as soon as we open it, we have No Guns, No Glory Part 1. Driven by his late parents' criminal legacy, Bloodshadow leads a life of destruction, murder, and mayhem, dedicated to being the most vile villain in his family, in the Death Club, all of that good stuff. Here are a few pages. Pretty graphic book. I think you guys can get the picture that my book is pretty violent, but we all don't want too much icing on a cake. We have to give some death. We have to give a compelling story. But issue number 3, we pretty much put our digital pencils down. We did everything by hand, and soon we'll go over that in our binder. You guys can see the original artwork. Everything was done by hand traditionally. And you can go back, you can look at this one, but our art has improved tremendously, like a lot, in a short amount of time too. I spend a lot of time, doing this. Even though I am driven by money, I still want to put out a great product. At the end of the day, we have to put out a great product, a great story, all of that. So I put a lot of time and effort into research and development, everything. And this is my baby. But issue number 4, which is amazing. Look at this cover. Again, I do pretty much everything from penciling, inking, lettering, color. When you open up the book to the left, you can see all of that. My partner and my lovely daughter are my editors and assistant editors, but we tried to work on backgrounds, 5-point perspective. We tried to do it all. I mean, we introduced his father. This is a crazy scene given what is going on in this world today and what has happened. I'm not going to speak on what happened, but if you know, you know. But look at the pages, look at the colors, look at literally everything. I put my heart and soul into these pages. And if you're wondering who that woman is up top, that will be his mother. We will be introducing her in issue number 5 because we introduced his father in issue number 3. And with our trade paperback, we will pretty much conclude. I mean, the first arc will basically be, who is Bloodshadow? What is the Death Club? Who are his parents? What have they done? Why is he trying to pursue, what they've done? Why is he trying to be better? And as we open up to the first page of this binder, we can see issue number 3. All penciled and inked. So we did everything on a color erase pencil, and then we penciled on, I didn't do 2H, but I think I did I think a HB lead, but I think it came out great. I kind of switched some things up, digitally. We do everything by hand, we scan everything, and then we kind of go from there. But while we are showing the pages, I don't want to go into too much detail. I don't want to do too much commentary. And right here, I'll pretty much show you guys the difference between, the cover that was done, that was colored digitally. But before everything is done, it is done on 11x17 comic book artboard, and then it is scaled down to the comic book size. Now, back to content creating. I don't understand why artists hate it so much. Like, I enjoy this so much. Sitting right here recording myself, looking at this video playback, even editing everything. Like, I know people don't have time. You're working on a comic book and then you still have to promote it and make videos and do all of that and this and that. I don't understand why people hate it. I think it's the best thing ever. If you want to avoid gatekeepers and, if you want to put your work out into the world, this is the best way to do it. And unfortunately, you have to be good, because everyone is good right now. Everyone is good. So it's like, what do you have to offer? And I think that's probably why people hate it, because you have to go above and beyond. Because it's like, who wants to get a C-stand like me in order to do these top-down shots? Then you have to get, another stand for your light. You have to get a soft box to match the Bowens mount on your light. You have to get a swivel mount just to hold up the light on the stand. There's so much that goes into this production-wise, but I love it. And right now we're shooting on the iPhone, and later on, as we become more consistent, we will do everything on a more professional camera. And, right now we're going over pages. You can look at the pages. I know I'm not even speaking on the book, but you guys can see the difference between the artwork before it was colored. Issue 4, by the way, was actually penciled digitally. I printed them out, and then I did, my cleanup pencils by hand, and then we inked everything traditionally. So moving forward for issue number 5, the goal is to pencil everything on Photoshop as far as, getting the form, just trying to figure out what I want to do. Then, you could look at the side right here where it's just so many scribbles, but I think next time I want it to be a little more transparent, print everything out, and then whatever I feel needs to be tightened up, whatever pencils need to be tightened up, we can do that, and then we'll ink everything on top. But if you're watching this video, if you made it this far, do not be afraid of content creation. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of posting on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Look at my space. Like, I want to showcase my space to the world. I think you guys all deserve to see what does the office space or studio look like of a solo comic book creator. And this is what it looks like. All of this, everything I have, this is what inspires me to do what I love, essentially. And your space should inspire you. Like, I know they always talk about people struggling with completing a book or whatever, but when you have a space like this, it is actually very difficult to start something and not finish it. Like, look at everything. I have so many, reference books. I have toys. I have literally everything you need to succeed. I have my tablet where I can draw now. Who knows how long I've been waiting on a tablet for. Why do I need to hold this in or make this such a sacred thing? Everyone's like, oh, art is sacred and this and that. And oh man, by the way, I learned how to rotate. Yo, my keypad, insane. My shortcuts, ridiculous. Ridiculous, because this isn't, touchscreen. We got to find other ways to, use it as if it was an iPad. And by the way, I have not touched my iPad at all. My iPad is literally catching dust. It's catching dust. I'm probably going to delete Procreate because I'm not using it. Anyways, oh yeah, this is character design concept for, his mother. But, back to, I know I'm a little all over the place, and by the way, I do animation too. So this is what shit would look like if it was like a 2D animation. So I want to do a 2D animation for the promotion of issue number 5. How am I going to do that? Who knows? My son is due any minute now, but let's get back to it. People always talk about art being sacred or personal or private or whatever these made up rules are. I don't know who made these rules up, but it does not have to be that. Newsflash, we live in a totally different time. Now you can keep everything private unto yourself. That is not an issue. But the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I have to put myself out there is because I am trying to be the person that I wanted to see growing up. I didn't really know about Black comic book creators when I was a kid or when I was younger. I don't even think I knew they were white. I just knew of the characters. I didn't really know about comic book creators until later on. I didn't know who Todd McFarlane was. I didn't know who Rob Liefeld was. I didn't really know who the artist was. I didn't really go that deep into the comic book world to know who did the art for everything until way later on in life, way later on. Honestly, I believe the first person that I took seriously into researching was probably Ryan Ottley, and that is like late in my 20s. So you could say I'm somewhat of a late bloomer. And I think that is the issue with the industry today. I think we're so focused on the writers and the writing, but not the artist. And that is why I believe in being a content creator, to let people know and show the world like, yo, this is what I'm doing. This is what exists. And yeah, I'm just trying to inspire the young kid out there who shares the same skin color as me. And he can believe he can do what I'm doing too. And I heard a stat the other day that said that there's like 3 to 5% of comic book artists and writers among all comic book publishers. We need to fix that. That is a crazy stat. Not sure how true it is. I mean, that was something. I'm quoting someone that writes for DC that said something of that nature. But I actually have to discuss this. This is the website. Please go to deathclubcomics.com to grab my books. You can learn everything about my comic book company, the series, Blood Shadow, what it's all about, issues 1 through 4. It will look different on a mobile phone. Most of you guys are probably on a mobile phone and not on a desktop. I have posters, I have bundles, I have single issues, I have character design, breaking down, animation and my goal for 2D animation. I am pretty much doing both 2D animation. Here is my recent YouTube video. I am doing both 2D animation and comic books. I believe they both work hand in hand. You can go to the About to learn more about me and my background as a comic book creator. My dog is probably gonna bark soon. But if you made it this far, please, 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 please support your boy. Whether it's grabbing a bundle, grabbing a single issue. I also wrote a code to show how many products were sold. We've sold 7 bundles so far, which I think is pretty cool. We've sold more issues of 3 and 4 on my web store. We have this poster. It's a 19 by 27 poster. I love this poster so much. I think this will look great in anyone's studio or office space. I know some people told me that I should not have sold a poster of this size because it's just way too big. But I want to show you guys in great detail what this poster even looks like. Again, this was actually drawn by hand on an A4 size paper. I sold the original drawing for 200 bucks. Shout out to the lucky person that has that piece. But I wanted to scan it so I can color it, see what it looks like with certain colors, and this is what I came up with. I thought this was extremely beautiful. So you can head over to deathclubcomics.com. You can grab yourself a poster, you can grab yourself a book. We will have more merchandise very soon, but in the meantime, I'm trying to push these books. You know, right now we're on our sell. Soon we will start working on issue number 5. But also, if you're new, I would suggest grabbing a bundle so you can kind of get an idea of what the story is about. You won't really learn much from, you know, the first issue. But you can also see where I have progressed as an artist, you know. And I think that's, you know, extremely important. You can see how passionate I am. And yeah, I thought this book, issue number 4, blows all the other issues out of the water. I can't wait to see where I'm at by issue 10. But right now, let's take everything one issue at a time. Issue 5 will be starting soon. I just wanted to put out a video to, you know, check up on you guys, give you guys an update. There's a lot going on in the back end, and I appreciate you all so much. I have some books on the way. I think I sold out of issue number 3, but I placed an order, so those are on the way. I know a few people are waiting on bundles. Once issue 3 comes in, that's when you know, the 4-book bundle will come out. But I want to go ahead and show you guys all 4 books. You know, issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. Give you guys kind of like a close-up of what it looks like before, you know, I head out. I wanted to do a 30-minute video, but we're gonna keep it short and sweet. Here's issue number 1, 3,000 copies sold. And then issue number 2, I think we sold around 1,200 copies, I believe. I gotta check the TikTok numbers. And then issues 3 and 4, my babies. You know, this is when we put the digital pencils down. Did everything by hand. So fire. And yeah, I think this is one of my favorite covers. Issue 3 is probably my favorite cover. Issue 4 is fire, but issue 3 takes the cake. Now I need to figure out the issue for both. I need to figure out the cover design for issue number 5 and then the trade paperback. So I will still release a single issue for issue number 5, and then I will release, you know, the trade paperback with a different cover. So not sure what that cover will be, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Shout out to our Kickstarter backers that backed issue number 4. I will not be doing a Kickstarter again. I will just stick to the direct-to-consumer route. I can fund all of my books on my own, and I'm continuously selling my books, so I don't really feel the need to crowdfund. It was cool just to say I did it. I always wanted to say I did it. I did a Kickstarter for my toy that failed miserably, so I wanted to be able to see if I could do a Kickstarter, a successful Kickstarter, and we did just that. But all in all, man, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Remember, go to deathclubcomics.com. You can grab all 4 issues of my books. This is the website. And yeah, man, appreciate you guys. This is where I hang out at. This is where I do what I do. This is my studio. I hope you guys like my studio. Soon I will be installing hardwood floors or micro concrete. We shall see, guys. Peace.